This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music live on YouTube. The eye of the storm is always a terrible place to play if you're the opposing team. The Storm, especially this season, look unstoppable, and they have won every single game sans one by 10 or more points. Can Canton come in and upset the high-flying Florida Storm? Good afternoon, everybody. I am Tyler Falk. Glad to have your company here from the booth. Lots to talk about today, and one man who's helping me do so, he's in the booth with me. It's Mr. Jack Brown. We got two of the best running backs in terms of touchdowns here, Jack, but there's plenty more to talk about when it comes to Canton, Florida.
Oh, absolutely. First ever meeting between these two franchises, Tyler. Canton coming off a massive win just a few days ago on Monday night against Charleston. Charleston, though, as you said, the only team to play Florida close this year, and Canton, their offense looks mighty similar to that of those Charleston Predators. So if there's any team that I think can beat Florida so far this year, Tyler, it's got to be these Canton Classics.
See what they can do, and of course we talked about the halfbacks, but one thing to look at as far as Florida goes is that defense leading the entire SFL in sacks coming into this week with 18 in total. How many more will they rack up today against quarterback for Canton, Scar Patterson, as here we go from Fort Lauderdale as Canton will return the opening kick, and instead I'll just down it back for a touchback. That's Al Dillapre Sr., and we'll see the aforementioned Scar Patterson take to the field for the first time in the ball game.
Yeah, he's been having himself a solid year. Both these offenses, Tyler, they don't throw the ball often, but when they do, both their quarterbacks have been some of the more efficient gunslingers within the SFL.
Scar will pitch it near side for one of his backs, and there's nobody in the area, and it's a good opening run for fullback Toronto Rivera for Canton. And let's introduce to you the full offensive lineup for the Classics. Robert Johnson, Kane Hunter are the tailbacks with Toronto Rivera at fullback. Wideouts are Ryan Owens, Andrew Gibson, Al Dillapre Sr., Mike Twinscrew, and Bob Lung. Tight end is Jack Wall, and on the line it's Jacques Lepankik, Girth Lord, Adam Chance, and Max Van Linge. Another run here for Canton goes left-hand side. Our first look at Robert Johnson today, but he's met up at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more of a predictable run, because that first one, I really liked it. They loaded up one in the line, got Florida to cheat down their linebackers, but they went the other way. Great play on that 1st and 10 from Canton.
An early third down test now for the Classics. They pass into double coverage, and Ryan Davidson nearly came away with the interception, but it's a quick 3 and out to begin the ball game, just showing everybody here at Fort Lauderdale and here on YouTube how difficult it is to move the football against Florida's defense.
Oh yeah, no, one of, if not the biggest things that Florida does is that they've actually been one of the very few teams so far this season to actually master defensive backs. You know, a lot of teams have been struggling with it so far this year, but Florida, one of the very few teams that's actually been able to lock on defensively.
Fair catch called for at the 34-yard line by Caleb Griffiths. He hauls that in without any trouble, and so we will see Ron Cochran for Florida. And though he hasn't had to throw the ball a whole lot, credit to his running game, he has been mightily effective, the best in terms of completion percentage. .2 completion percentage here to begin the season. It's a phenomenal start as Boletsky spins out of 2 tackles before finally being brought down after a pickup of 6. And let's introduce you to the rest of the Storm offense. Of course, we talked about Cochran, the quarterback. Charlie Boletsky is the tailback with J.W. Doyle at fullback. Caleb Griffiths, Art Vandelay, Stephen Bush, and E.J. Minster the wideouts, with Ron Haynes and Vardan Zarkov at tight end. On the line, leading the men in the trenches, it's Greg McDonaldson and Joseph Wade at tackle, and Puttam Ondebak at center. Pitch play again near side here for Bullet, and Boletsky is able to gain maybe 2 yards before he is brought down by Chris Potter, the defensive end.
solid start from Canton so far. Not too much to complain about. If they can get the stop here, they'll be able to show that they do mean business against Florida.
So they will come to the line. You're on 3rd and short. Handoff up the middle for Charlie, and Canton's defense gets home. It's Porter again, and now both offenses on their first possession go 3 and out.
And that's especially impressive, Tyler, because Canton so far this year, in terms of getting in the backfield, has actually been one of the weaker units in the SFL so far. Just 25 tackles for loss coming into today, ranking them outside of the top 20 in the league.
Punt is away from Marcus Agrippa. It's a very high and deep kick. That got all the way back to the 15-yard line, about a 40-plus yard punt from Agrippa, and that will pin Canton back behind their own 20-yard line. So Scar Patterson and the Classic offense have a chance to respond. We're still looking for our first down of the ball game. Early goings yet. Pitch play near side and nothing doing. Maybe a yard on the play, but brought down by Jesus Smith, the rookie out of Albuquerque, as we take a look at the rest of the Florida defense. Deontay Stoneville, Pete Mitchell, Alex Dominguez, Big Sexy, and Alessandro Tamiello are the linemen. Ryan Tobin, Leon Thunderman, Jesus Smith are the linebackers. Evan Carroll, Adam Jones, and Ryan Davidson are the corners. A couple of safeties, we'll touch on them here in a second, as one of the DBs, that is, Ryan Davidson, knocks it out of the air, and he partners alongside Adrian Blaine, Roscoe Jenkins, Andrew Francis, and J.J. Bailey at the safety spots. That's your defense for Florida as it brings up 3rd down. Three wide here for Patterson. Sends Dillapre in motion as a flexed out tight end option. Looking to throw middle. It's just a bit outside. Incomplete pass. Led his man just a little bit too far. And again, Canton will go 3 and out.
Very bumpy start here from the Canton offense, especially on the pass attack. You know, I'm sure once they get back to the sidelines, they'll be getting an ear in from the offensive coordinator.
Punt is away from Charles Brown, the undrafted rookie. Here comes our first return for Florida. All the way up to the 44-yard line goes Griffiths, and that is where Florida will take over. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, at Simulation what's going on? Running play now here for Boletsky up the middle. He gains about 9 yards. Hopefully I'm back. Anyone can confirm possibly?
Yes, Tyler, you are back, and so is the Florida rushing attack on that one. Just parted the Red Sea, which is funny because, you know, they're wearing red, and got a huge 9-yard gain.
Pitch play right side. Nothing doing. Maybe a loss. Wanted to play to Boletsky as Mike All brings him all the way down. Third and short now here for Florida. Split backfield behind Cochran. He will roll out to his right, spins and fires, and that is caught. That's a first down for Florida. He finds Ron Haynes for the first down.
And that's another part of what makes Florida so lethal in offense, Tyler. They don't need to throw the ball a lot, but when they do, oh, they'll make you pay. They will make you pay for it.
That's our first down of the ball game. Finally moving. as Cochran will come back to the line. Pull it on the give again, right side, out of an arm tackle, and finally shoulder to the turf by Kanye Rockefeller.
Yeah, Kanye Rockefeller, the brains behind this Canton defense, trying to do all he can to slow down this Florida attack.
Pitch play again. They go back to Charlie, and Boletsky's finally brought down. Rockefeller alongside King Jamal, Lee Strong's safety to bring him down. Here comes another third down for the Storm. They converted on one earlier to a pass to Ron Haynes. Can they do it again? Cochran will roll near side, and the ball was tipped as soon as he released it. Great pursuit there off the edge. That'll bring up fourth down.
And that was a huge stop there early on in this game. You know, Canton, it's one of those things where you know you're not going to be able to stop them every drive. So at the bare minimum, if you can hold them to 3 instead of 7, that is a massive win.
Field goal is up and good. Our first points of the ball game come courtesy of an Ethan Sneed field goal. Now it is Florida 3, Canton nothing. If you are new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button to begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. We are back underway here, just past the midway point in the first quarter, as Dillapre will take a knee about 6-7 yards deep in his own end zone. And so Canton will start their third drive on their own 20-yard line. 2 drives, 2 3-and-outs. Not the start that Canton had in mind here, Jack.
No, especially after their offense kind of had a bit of a rejuvenation last week against Charleston, putting up a franchise record 49 points, hoping they can at least come close to that.
Pitch play near side, little stutter step, and here comes a big run. There's the first Canton first down. Spin move from Rojo all the way up to about the 40-yard line.
And that is a great use of the pitch play. You know, in this new game, Tyler, it's been such a new concept, you know, working in the pitches more often, and they can work to perfection so long as, you know, you find the right scheme to go up against.
20-yard run, courtesy of our statisticians Eddie Gage and Ron Haynes. Thank you, gentlemen, for helping us keep up to date and looking and sounding a little bit smarter than, well, I guess I actually am. Jack, you're probably pretty smart. You're probably smarter than I am at this point. Pitch play left side here on a first down. Good little spin move. Robert Johnson again gains 4 yards, and we get our first update from Oklahoma, courtesy of SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine.
Thank you, Tyler. Look at our boy on the broadcast team, Philadelphia Collins, on Ace Fenix rollout. Collins with the pick. Now watch the athleticism. Whoop! Right over a player on the ground, gets all the way down to the 3, and Tulsa ends up punching it in. They lead 13-7 over Alamo City. Back to you in Florida.
Thank you, Cam. 2 unbeatens here in the opening block of this Saturday 6-pack. 1 down, 1 has a 3-point lead. Good early viewing here in the SFL Week 7 Saturday slate. Pass into double coverage, and there is Wall there for Jack Wall, the tight end. In coverage, comes down with the reception. Wow.
You know, Jack Wall, he isn't used often in this Canton offense, but he definitely will make you know that he's there. You know, it's like Gen Chat. He may not be in there all the time, but he makes it worth it whenever he pops in.
His third on terms of receptions, with 12 coming into today's game. No touchdowns as of yet in the season, averaging around 13 yards a catch as Robert Johnson picks up 3 more yards to the near side. We'll see if Canton can keep the momentum rolling. They are presently in Robert M's range, the kicker for Canton. Handoff. They try a little trap play with Robert Johnson, and Johnson gets spun around like a top, and he'll go nowhere. Ryan Davidson in on another play, this time on a tackle at the line of scrimmage. The eye getting a little loud here as Canton come out in a bunch set. Florida send the blitz. They have to dump it off near side, and Patterson did well enough to get Ryan Owens involved. It's a gain of about 5, but the tackle from Andrew Francis denies him a first down.
That was a very solid throw to the outside. Just needed a little bit more speed. He would have easily had the first down and possibly a heck of a lot more. However, Rob Ems is still in perfect position to make this a tie ball game.
The right hash, kick is up, and it will stay in between the uprights, and good. 10th attempt, 10th make of the season for Rob Ems, and the ball game is back tied at 3 apiece. For all the league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net. Presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future. Seems like these two kickers don't want to return, as that'll force Art Vandelay to take a knee back deep in his own end zone. And so the average field position here, Jack, if it hasn't been a punt, this 20-yard line is going to be worn out like no tomorrow.
Oh yeah. It's gonna start looking faded, you know. You'll start seeing the under pellets of the turf come up at some point soon.
Two tight ends right for Cochran as the linebackers spread their look as Boletsky gets the call. Out of a tackle. Looking for more room as he gets past Rockefeller, but eventually he's sandwiched after picking up 13 yards.
Yeah, with Boletsky, you need 2 or 3 guys on him at any given time. One will just never be enough. Because he sheds the first tackler, sheds the second one, and you see right when Canton gets 2 guys on him, you know, that's the only time it really seems to work out in terms of tackling him.
So Florida will come back to the line here on a new set of downs, second play of the drive. 3 wideouts here for Florida. Man, top of the screen, wide receiver way out there. There's nobody covering him at the moment. Cochran gonna look to throw over the middle. That is caught. Turning upfield and still looking for more. It's Charlie Boletsky, who is the man lined up at the top of the picture.
Even when he's down in the backfield, he's still making the big plays. Just scything through the coverage. You know, it didn't even look like, oh, he just broke him as blocker. Like half a second before, he saw the ball coming and it's like, oh, hold on, I gotta go do this real quick.
So another wrinkle. This Florida offense keeps the chains moving. Boletsky was hand fighting all the way down his route as they go deep into double coverage and tip bobbled and incomplete. Frank Bernstein nearly had the interception.
Gosh, you know, if you're a defensive coordinator, if you're anyone on the defense, you know the pain of watching a play like that unfold. Just the ball tipping out of your hands and incomplete was so close to happening, and Florida bailed out hard.
Five-man rush, quick hitter right side for Charlie, and Charlie turning upfield, eventually stepping out of bounds after a gain of 6. Let's finally introduce you to that Canton defense. Chris Porter, Jabril Kurse, LL Vogt, and Mike All are the defensive linemen, with Kevin Brackett, Mark Bronick, A. Singletary, and Dimitri Monzuma are the linebackers. Evan Lacey, Connor Darian, and Frank Bernstein are the corners, with Joshua Durr, Kanye Rockefeller, and King Jamal at safety. Big third down, 3rd and 4 here for the Storm. It's a play-action pass. Cochran looking deep over the middle into triple coverage and somehow finds E.J. Minson for the first.
And E.J. Minson been probably their primary deep threat so far this season, and he just makes it look so easy to gain big chunks of yardage. You know, just, double coverage and he made it look easy. That is some next level stuff.
He does have the most yards coming into the ball game for the Storm offense, 324, but does not have the longest average. That would go to tight end or to fullback J.W. Doyle with a 26-yard average on receptions. As we bring the first quarter to a close, Florida 3, Canton 3. You're watching Week 7 of the SFL, presented by APM Music on YouTube. Welcome back to the Eye here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Florida Storm are tied up with the Canton Classics. Here as we begin the second quarter, Tyler Falk and Jack Brown here on the call. Glad to have you along with us here for this wild ride in Week 7 as Boletsky gets a couple of nice blocks on the left-hand side, but King Jamal will take him down at the 11-yard line. But had it not been for Jamal, we'd be talking about the blockers, and we still might talk about the blockers on the left-hand side.
Oh, and you know what? I'm going to talk about the blockers on the left-hand side anyway. Just look at the room they create for them. Like that. That's the sort of offensive line that puts a ring on your finger at the end of the season.
And it's the tight ends, Ron Haynes and Vardan Zarkov, tag teaming out there, being the hybrid linemen, the linemen that can go out and block and be athletic, as they come up with a nice ceiling edge there for Boletsky. And they'll have to do it again to get the call left side. Out of an arm tackle from Kevin Brackett. Another arm tackle is missed, but finally stood up after a gain of 6 is Boletsky.
Yeah, and once again on that Florida O-line, they had to replace some pretty big pieces with the James brothers heading a bit north to Charleston, South Carolina. And they've done a fantastic job, really. It does not look like this Florida O-line has lost a beat.
From the 5-yard line. Split backfield now, J.W. Doyle, the fullback in motion into the slot. They'll pitch it to Boletsky in the other direction. He will go nowhere. Shoulder checked by Monzuma, the rookie out of Lincoln. 7th overall pick. He has had a pretty solid start to his rookie tenure.
Yes, sir. I mean, Lincoln, Lincoln, now Philadelphia, they've been known as a bit of a pro factory, and he's just another example of that.
Blitz coming. Pass is batted at the line for the second time running. Cochran unable to throw over those big hog mollies in the middle of the field, and that will result in another field goal attempt here for Ethan Sneed.
I'm sorry, what word was that? Hog molly?
It's an old term. Old term used way back in the 2000s when we were describing describing the big bodies up front that got those tree trunks up in the air to knock away the ball. Ethan Sneed will tackle for 3 more points, and it's now 6-3 to the Florida Storm. Canton Classic fans, the team needs your help. Van Lacey, the father of Evan Lacey, which the cornerback is named for and in his likeness, is raising the reward money to solve his son's murder from $8,000 to $20,000. The Classics have set up a GoFundMe account and would appreciate your consideration in donating or even just sharing the link in your social circles. Let's help Van keep his final promise to his son and bring peace to this family. Visit GoFundMe.com and search A Father's Promise. The return here from Canton gets it all the way up to the 29-yard line, and that is where Scar Patterson and the rest of the Classics will take over for their next possession. Their last drive, they got all the way down the field but had to settle for a field goal. Last 3 drives combined for both teams have resulted in our points in the ball game. 3 field goals. Pitch play near side. Robert Johnson gains maybe about 3 yards before he's brought down.
Yeah, solid start to their drive. Can't really complain. Keeps them on schedule. We
haven't seen a whole lot of tackles behind the line tonight for Florida, but Canton already have 3. They've been trying to get in the backfield. So Florida having trouble getting to Robert Johnson, and just as I say that, down goes Robert Johnson in the backfield. Andrew Francis with the tackle.
And that has been probably the main bread and butter of this Florida defense. They've been able to get into the backfield better than pretty much anyone else in the SFL this season. 40 tackles for loss coming into today's ball game.
And that one results in the 41st TFL. 3rd and 9 from the 30-yard line. Blitz coming from the right-hand side. Patterson has to roll. Now he looks near side, and it's a wide open receiver. Nice catch by Ryan Owens. That'll move the chains and get him across midfield.
And another big first down here from Canton, and it comes off the back of their passing attack. You know, they haven't had the best of times passing the ball today. But when they do, it's been pretty effective. Been big chunk plays.
Comes Patterson back to the line. Now from the Florida 43, pitch play right-hand side, nothing doing. Florida gets home. Kane Hunter, man on the call, first carry of the ball game for him, results in a loss of 1. It was Deontay Stoneville in on the stop. Now they come out with 8 men in the box here for the Storm defense. Patterson back to pass. Screenplay near side, set up beautifully as here comes Robert Johnson up the sideline. Tight roping that sideline for a first down. That looked awfully close. For the moment, it stands as a first down.
Yeah, it seems that way. Although I'm not sure if I throw out the challenge flag for this one. Kind of hard to tell from this angle. Well, I don't think they're going to throw out the challenge flag though for this one.
It's going to be quite close, and no,
yeah.
I agree. Just excellent awareness there from Robert Johnson to keep both feet in bounds. And now Canton inching closer inside the 30-yard line from the 28. Looking to cap off another solid drive. Last drive lasted on 8 plays. This is play number 6. They're on the current drive. Pitch play, right side. Rivera, the fullback, untouched. He puts down Francis in the turf. Still going uphill before being ushered out of bounds near the 5-yard line, and the fullback has some moves.
Dang, he just came out and just gave arguably one of the more disrespectful stiff arms I've seen in the SFL this year. Just tells him to sit down. Could have had 6 actually, but alas. It is
Either way, it won't matter. First and goal, right, Jack?
Yeah.
That's a 23-yard run from fullback Geronimo Rivera. First and goal. Now here for Canton. Handoff up the middle. Johnson looking for pay dirt, and he finds the end zone. Touchdown, Canton.
And Robert Johnson puts them out in front here in this game. And what a good run. Just what a solid drive from Canton. You know, they mixed in everything they knew how, and they put up a great blocking effort, and just that second effort from Rojo puts him in for 6. Canton's got to be happy about that.
This drive started all the way back on the Canton 29-yard line. A perfect 2 of 2. In fact, in the last 2 scoring drives, Scar Patterson has been a perfect 4 for 4. Rob Ems will kick the extra point. It is now 10-3. And Canton finds themselves ahead of the unbeaten Florida Storm, kind of like how Tulsa found themselves in front of visiting Alamo City. If you're liking the game so far, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. We've got a good ball game going here, partner. 4 straight drives, 4 straight scoring drives here between the two teams, and here's hoping we see plenty more scoring.
Yeah. I mean, so far it's been a bit of a sluggish start, especially for two teams that are a little bit more known for their high-flying offenses. But, you know, sometimes it's a slow burn football is.
Especially Florida, who's averaging 44 points a game, sitting right now at just 6 against Canton, who only typically averages about 27 points a game. Right now, Boletsky, after a 2-yard pickup, needs to kick it into high gear. Only down by 4, still plenty of time to go here in regulation. Blitz coming. Cochran looking middle, that is caught to about the 44-yard line. Another nice catch by E.J. Minson.
And he was just inside of where the defenders were. Cochran given all the time to throw and finds just where Minson is supposed to be. Huge gain.
Here comes Cochran. Back the line after the 18-yard pass to Minson as they go back to the ground game. Boletsky through the middle, finally brought down after he gained 5. Second and 5 now. Here for the Storm. Split backfield. The lone wideout off to Cochran's left. Pitch play nearly intercepted back in the backfield, and that really disrupted the entire play. Boletsky will go backwards a yard as Mike Hall brings him down.
Yeah, usually when you nearly avoid disaster like that, you're kind of just hoping the play just kind of ends at some point soon. They're lucky to avoid disaster and not go down by more.
4th TFL, the ball game for the Canton defense. Pass left side. Boletsky out of a few tackles, has a blocker downfield, but J.W. Doyle couldn't get there in time, but it's a first down nonetheless for Charlie.
And that was the exact sort of play they needed to make up for what happened last snap. Just excellent blocking once again on the screenplay. Sheds a tackler. Could not get one from Doyle, you know. Is what it is. But still a good play.
$19-yard swing pass there from Cochran to Boletsky. Results them being inside the Canton 35 as Boletsky gets out of one tackle, but eventually brought down by Connor Darien after a pickup of 4 yards. Second and 6 here in Florida. Pitch play for Boletsky left side. And another tackle behind the line will result in another loss. 5th one in the ball game for this Canton defense. Mark Gronick eventually finishes him off. Meanwhile, over in Tulsa, that game just about to go to halftime. Under 30 seconds to go in the second quarter. Alamo City lead by 1, 14-13. Tulsa with the football in that one. 3rd down here. Pass left side is caught by Boletsky, but the 3rd down swing passes. Eventually, the luck runs out as Evan Lacey takes him down near the 30-yard line. And now Florida will have to settle for yet a 3rd attempt at a field goal.
Yeah, this one's kind of an unfortunate situation for Florida to be in. Usually they're a team that's been running in touchdowns. I don't know the last game where I had Florida legitimately have a problem where they're settling for 3 and just having all their drives fizzle out right before they should properly end.
The field goal was up and good from Sneed, so the bright side is Florida knocked down the deficit to just a point, and we have seen teams, Jack, here in the SFL win on just field goals. So if they can keep Canton's offense out of the end zone and keep this game tight, you never know, as Sneed will get us back underway late on in this second quarter. Here comes Dillapre Sr. on the return, and he gets taken down at the 17. Oh, Ryan Davidson flying in like a bat out of hell. Comes down with a tackle, and that Dillapre Sr. should have taken a knee in the end zone. So here comes the Canton offense out to start another drive. 2:14 to go here in the first half. Five to go on the play clock. Pitch play right-hand side, and nothing doing for Robert Johnson. Taken down a yard behind the line.
Another one of those situations, just launched into the backfield. Tackle down for a loss. That's what Florida does best.
That will result in us headed to the 2-minute warning. It's 10-9, Florida with the 1-point lead. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. That pushed Canton back to their own 16 here on now 2nd and 11. Another pitch play, this time for Rivera trying to get further downfield, and he will roll forward 8 yards, looking like the better tailback on the run plays ever so often.
Yeah, that was a very good play to the outside, and the roll to get the extra yards. I mean, how many times have we seen that this season, Tyler? It seems about almost every game it happens.
Heavy look. Single back set here on 3rd and short. They go with Johnson near side, and that's an easy first down. Good edge setting blocking on the left-hand side results in a first down.
Yeah, and they let him up a little. I will say, though, Tyler, they did let him up a little bit too easy. They went too hard in on one side, not in on the other.
Another pitch play. 4th one in a row for Canton as Robert Johnson picks up 2 yards. And they're running the football with some success, but you got to be thinking here, Jack. When are they going to start airing out the football here in this 2-minute drill?
I don't know, but I mean, they might be thinking just take this to half and just kind of sulk in what you can. I'm not someone who fully agrees with that, but yeah, that's what they're thinking, I guess.
And Florida will get the ball to start the second half. 5th pitch play in a row. Jesus Smith with a tackle at the line of scrimmage. No, they'll go ahead and another TFL for Florida. And now the clock is to about the 30-second mark.
Yeah, and now you got to wonder, like, are they going to even... No, there's not enough time for Florida to get the ball back, but still, yeah, they're kind of wasting time here.
First pass of the drive. Patterson looking near side. That is caught by Jackwell, the tight end, past the 40-yard line, but no timeout. I think they're just going to try and go into half with this 1-point advantage.
Yeah. You know, IRL, Tyler, I was kind of doing like the thing that Peyton Manning did last year on the Manning cast, doing like the timeout thing, because that's usually when you call them. But alas, yeah, they just seem content to take this to the half, the 1-point lead, which really isn't that bad of an idea, I guess.
And indeed, the clock will hit triple zeros. And so Canton will go into the halftime break with the lead, 10-9. And Florida will get the ball to start the second half. All right, Jack, let's take a look at the highlights and stats from the first half. It's a surprising scoreline with Florida behind here at half.
Yeah, and really the big thing has just been the fact that Canton was able to punch it in. Florida hasn't. Canton's defense has been able to fizzle out drives in the red zone or just outside the red zone. And really outside of that, Florida should be winning here. The scoreline is pretty misleading in terms of how these two teams have played. But alas, it doesn't matter how many scoring drives you have. If you can't turn 3 into 6, it ain't gonna matter.
Robert Johnson, the lone man, with a touchdown here in the ball game, and that is your difference. 10-9 as we come out of the halftime break. Tyler Falk and Brett Solberg here. Not Brett Solberg, Jack Brown. I'm thinking my first game of the weekend when I called Charleston, Atlanta in that ball game. Jack, you remember that one pretty well, being the owner of Charleston, and remembering how well you guys played against Atlanta last night.
It was quite good. I've had quite a good past 48 hours or so of football, I gotta say.
That's true. As we are underway here to begin the second half, we are back and running again as getting out of one blocker and still going is Art Vandelay to about the 33-yard event eventually, and that is where Florida will start their opening possession of the third quarter. A special thank you to Ron Haynes and Eddie Gage in the stats truck, who have been with us throughout the entirety of the game and have done an excellent job so far. Thank you, gentlemen, for all your hard work. And it sounds like Cam's pulling triple duty. He's producing both games and now also calling the game over in Tulsa. So we won't have any more official game breaks, but I'll be trying to keep you all updated in that game going on in Tulsa. The score still sits 14-13 with Alamo City with a 1-point lead as that game is now under the 8-minute mark in the third quarter. Handoff up the middle. J.W. Toyle bullies a man over the middle, and that's a gain of about 8-9 yards, and he is slow to get up, and that hit maybe jarred him a bit too much more than maybe the other player.
Yeah, he seems quite discombobulated, you know. He hit him, he was like, oh, I actually did something, look at that. And now he's getting carted off. You know, maybe we could have a pass situation like last night here in Florida, where a backup fullback comes in and saves the day.
Sounds like Chris Porter knocked him out. Chris Porter was involved early in the ball game, now makes a statement early on in the second half. Pitch play near side here for Beletsky. Beletsky out of a tackle, looking upfield, still going up the sideline, and eventually out of bounds near midfield. It's another first down for Florida. They'll say Charlie got all the way up to the 45 of Canton. As the opening drive for Florida rolls on, this is a much better start to the half compared to both teams' starts in the first half, where they traded 3 and outs for what seemed like an entire quarter. Handoff up the middle. Beletsky following the backup fullback for plenty of yards. Another gain of 9.5 on first down.
Yeah, that's a big gain. And it seems like Florida, after their struggles last half, are finally starting to find a bit of rhythm with their run game.
So now from the 35.5-yard line, Florida come out in a split back set pitch play near side. Beletsky with one blocker in front of him, gets out of a tackle, and he is loose and into the end zone. Touchdown, Florida Storm.
That's the play we've been waiting for, Tyler. We've been waiting 22 minutes for a big run. Sheds the tackler. He's gone. No one's touching him. He's running away. And that's 6 on the board.
And maybe resting on their laurels to end the first half has cost Canton dearly. A 35-yard rushing touchdown from Charlie Beletsky gives Florida the lead back for the first time since the second half, or the second quarter, on a quick 4-play, 66-yard drive. 16-10 now your score. We are off and running again. How will Canton respond? Here comes the return from Canton. Stutter step from Al Dillapre Sr. And he is up to the 27-yard line, and that is where the Classics will start their first drive of the half.
Saw a little maneuver there from Al Dillapre. But now Canton's got to come out, and they got to, well, now they got to turn it up a notch, because clearly Florida ain't going to go down without a fight.
Here comes Scar Patterson. Had a solid first half, was 5 of 8. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Both quarterbacks keeping it clean here tonight. Or I should say this early afternoon. They will pitch it near side. Al Dillapre Sr. flexed into the backfield, and he will pick up 4 yards for Canton.
Putting a receiver in the backfield. I wonder where they learned that little trick from.
Well, their town also starts with the same letter as a certain Charleston Predator organization.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Maybe.
And they just played them last week. Who knows? Could be anybody.
Maybe, as Rojo goes up the gut and Leon Thunderman. Well, Thunder is in his name, and he had a thunderous hit on Rojo.
Oh, yeah. One of the best names in the SFL, I gotta say. You know, doing his stuff on a 3rd and 4.
See, I'm quite partial to Thornburg. Kind of like Goldberg, in a way. Also a linebacker, also a heavy hitter. So now it brings up 3rd down here for Canton. Blitz coming, pass middle, open is Ryan Owens across midfield, down near the 47-yard line, and Canton converts.
And that's a nice play out to Ryan Owens. Wide open. He had 2 options, too. He could have gone either way. Decided to go a little bit further out. Really not a bad choice there. It's like picking between 2 different flavors of ice cream. You really can't go wrong.
19 yards from Patterson to Owens, and Owens has been his main go-to receiver. The only other receiver to get a catch has been tight end Jack Wall and Robert Johnson, the tailback, and Dillapre Sr. Well, he tried to get another carry. Unfortunately, Florida was all over that one. He will go backward for 3 yards.
Yeah, you know, I mean, even the team that inspired them was struggling with some of those wide receiver runs last night. You know, it's a tough play to get right, but man, when it hits its stride.
Another pitch near side, out of a tackle, and still going near side. Turanio Rivera looking for more yards, but eventually stopped 2 yards shy of the line to gain, and he has been cooking all night tonight. He's been averaging little over 10 yards a carry. That's his 4th tonight.
Yeah, and, you know, that's the reason why a lot of these teams employ a second running back. They might not be used that often, but when they're used, they can be just as lethal as any mainstay back.
Rivera will get a much-needed rest of the sideline. They go up the gut here with Johnson, and Johnson is dogpiled on. No gain. Big, sexy, big number 69, Alex Dominguez, amongst others, in on the stop. And it's 4th and short for Canton, just outside of field goal range. They come to the line again.
Oh, yeah, this is when it's fun.
10 men on the line for Florida. Handoff. Johnson didn't know where to go. The hole closed quickly, and here comes Andrew Francis, who will tackle up. It's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, he just seemed to kind of lose his track. He was like, I don't know where to go, and he got tackled. And Florida has the opportunity to extend the lead.
And so the first turnover of the ball game is on downs. And now can Florida capitalize? 6:03 to go in the 3rd quarter. Or motion the fullback from right to left, and I believe that is Doyle back in the ball game as Boletsky gets the call up the middle. 9-yard pickup there from Charlie, and indeed we do get confirmation that was Doyle out in front of him. Good to see him back on the field.
Yeah, good to see him back out there. You know, a lot of times these guys will be very, very all over the place when it comes to the injuries, but good to see him back out there.
Pitch play. Boletsky right side. Out of the tackle from Monzuma. Out of the tackle from Rockefeller, but eventually brought down by all, but it results in a Florida first down. Now from the Canton 47, Florida looking to lay the hurt on Canton. I formation behind Cochran. He will hand off up the middle for Boletsky. Nothing doing. Tackled by Frank Bernstein after a gain of only a yard. Now available, free to download. You can play the SFL video game on the go with the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, an emulator for 4K23 right in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at GoRetroid.com. Search SFL and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. Retroid, the official console of the SFL, as the run goes nowhere, no gain in the play, and it's 3rd and 9. Will Florida be able to convert? They need to get to the 36. Heavy blitz coming. Pass looking over the middle for Vard, and Zarkov. Check that, Steven Bush. He's unable to bring that one in. And neither Bush nor Zarkov nor Vandalay or Giffis have gotten a reception today. And that has really put a hamper and a catalyst on this Florida offensive attack.
And that was surprising to see. And just the physicality, too. Wow.
Punts away. No fair catch called for, and the return goes little to nowhere. Dillapre on the return for about a yard, taken down. But check that wasn't Dillapre this time. Andrew Gibson, the other rookie wide receiver in the ball game. Just a yard on the play, and that is where Canton will take over after turning the ball over on downs on the last drive. They're trying to be aggressive. That's commendable. And they march down the field again on this drive. Pitch play left side. Johnson tried to run through Ryan Tobin, but he only picked up 3 yards. And now that brings up 2nd down. 4-3 look out of Florida's defense. Corners playing tight on the line on the outside on the 2 wideouts. Canton will run again through the middle with Rojo. Johnson turning his legs through Ryan Tobin, and this time will gain the extra yardage needed for the first down.
And finally, it seems that Canton's finding some sort of stride on offense here in the second half. Unfortunately, they're still pretty far away from points being a realistic possibility.
That was Canton's 24th run of the ballgame. They've only passed 9 times at this point. They run again. Near side, 25th run. This time, Dillapre Sr. I think that might be a little extra more than a few more. That's 3 more. So that's actually the 27th run of the ballgame for Canton. And that one goes nowhere. Patterson will look to throw. 10th passing attempt of the ball game. That one falls incomplete. Excellent coverage there from Evan Carroll to jar the ball free. And that'll bring up 3rd and 10 for Canton.
And this is where they've been really struggling, Tyler. 3rd downs, especially these 3rd and longs.
What can Canton come up with here? 2:55 to go in the third quarter. Middle linebacker showing blitz near side. Trips in that direction as well. Blitz coming. Patterson rolling. Firing middle. Caught. First down. Mike Twin Screw.
What a beautiful throw. Just to gain a big chunk of yardage down the field. And Canton finds themselves right at midfield.
An excellent pitch and catch, resulting in 18 yards for Canton and their offense. Brand new first down, as third downs have not been their friend, but they convert on their fourth attempt. Their fourth good conversion on third down out of 10, as number 10 for Canton, Ryan Owens, can't come up with the reception. Back to the line they come. Two wideouts for Patterson right, split backfield behind him. He will hand it off, and having to go backwards is the running back, Robert Johnson. He's going to lose 4 yards. Jesus Smith gets behind the line, and Canton's going backward.
Yeah, once again, Florida's innate ability to just figure out where the ball carrier is and launch into the backfield. It's uncanny, you know?
This will tie the longest drive of the ball game for the Classics. Play number 8. Blitz coming. Patterson looking middle and just a bit outside, looking for Twin Screw again. Ball will fall incomplete, and out comes the punting unit for Canton.
I mean, it wasn't going to be enough anyway, but still, a little bit too high of a throw.
Out comes Charles Brown for his second punt of the ball game. This one's a decent one. Inside the 21-yard line, and now coming up field with it is Caleb Giffis. He will get all the way to the 24-yard line. A minute 47 to go, and now after Florida's opening drive of the second half resulted in a Boletsky touchdown, we've seen punt, turnover on downs, punt.
Yeah, not been a very impressive start to this second half for Canton. Luckily, their defense has done just enough to keep them hanging on.
Florida with a 6-point lead. And Cochran under center. Here comes Boletsky on the give. Up the middle, and he's taken down by Kevin Brackett after a gain of 3. And that's just about it from him. As Alamo City and Tulsa over in Oklahoma. It's a 2-point ball game. Alamo City with second and goal. It's 21-19 over there. Pitch play, Boletsky, near side, out of 1, out of 2, up the field he goes and spinning around and shimmy shaking his way for extra yardage and another first down near the 40.
Going here, there, and everywhere. What a play. You know, and it's not even like we can be that impressed because Boletsky just does this normally, you know?
A great run results in Florida being setting up at their 42-yard line after a 15-yard run from Boletsky. And we'll run again. Boletsky right side, but unable to make a man miss as Monzuma and company bring him down after 5 yards from Boletsky. So right now it's really becoming evident that Canton is having a tough time stopping Boletsky. Jack, what do they got to do to try and pin him down?
I mean, as I said earlier, you got to go at him 2v1. You can't trust a single man on him. You know, you got to go 2-1-1 at the minimum.
Pitch play. There he is again, out of single arm tackles, and finally brought down by two defenders, like you're saying, but it's too little, too late. First down, Florida. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter here from Fort Lauderdale. 16-10. Florida with the 6-point lead over Canton. Can Canton find a backbone and stop Florida and maybe put a crooked number in their loss column for the first time this season? We're about to find out. This is the SFL on YouTube. Tyler Falk alongside Jack Brown here in the booth. Ron Haynes and Eddie Gage, our statisticians. Thank you, gentlemen. The SFL commissioner pulling triple duty, being a producer for both the games going on in this block. He's also the SFL commissioner, and he's also calling that game over in Tulsa. Handoff up the middle. Boletsky maybe 2 yards after he's brought down by Brackett. They'll run again here on second down. Boletsky through the middle. Gains about 6 yards, and that'll set him up with third and short. Third downs have not been kind to Florida here this afternoon. They are 3 of 8, under 50%. Can they grab one here to keep the clock rolling? Another pitch play for Boletsky, left side this time. Boletsky blown up at the line to gain. They will give him the first down, meanwhile, as Mark Gronick wasn't strong enough to keep Boletsky away.
Yeah, they just barely got enough, but still good job there from the Canton defense to slow down Boletsky.
Flex tight end look on the left-hand side as Cochran will motion Boletsky out of the backfield. Still a 4-3 look out of the classic defense. They send the blitz. Pass left side, and Johnny on the spot. E.J. Minson was there on the stop route for a pickup of 6. Cochran is living in this defensive pressure. He has been able to make plays even when the defense is breathing down his neck like that.
Yeah, just constant pressure. And even Boletsky, look at him go out off the pressure.
They will give him, unfortunately, not the first down. I thought he gained about 5, but I'm only a broadcaster.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm surprised that's considered short. Look at that.
10th play of the drive. Our first drive that has reached double digits. Handoff up the middle. Boletsky gets inside the 20-yard line. That's an easy first down for Florida, and they're in the red zone. The last time they were here in the red zone, they ended up with a touchdown. Boletsky on the give, near side, and he gets maybe 3. And I retract my previous statement. The last time they were here, they had to settle for a field goal. The only touchdown of the ball game came from 35 yards out.
Yeah. They haven't had too much red zone success. But at some point, it should happen.
And off for Boletsky up the middle. He gets out of 1, but King Jamal is there to meet him after the missed tackle. And it brings up another third and short. Playbook is wide open for Florida. They've run, they've passed out of this situation to varying levels of success. They will pitch it. Near side, Beletsky, and he is stopped short. King Jamal on yet another tackle on the drive, and that will force Florida to try and kick the extra, or not even kick the extra point, but go for 3.
Yeah, but I mean,
Canton will have a
plus side.
second shot at this.
I was going to say, plus side for them, though, they're going to be up by 2 scores. And the way they've been playing, they've been milking this clock.
So it's only a 10-point lead, 19 to 10. And Florida has the lead. 8 p.m. Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. 8 p.m. Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit 8pmmusic.com. And so Canton will take a knee back in their own end zone. That's Bob Lung on the return. So here come the Classics. Still a decent and manageable scoreline. Now they need 2 scores instead of just 1. Haven't scored since the second quarter. They will pitch it near side. Johnson, maybe a yard play as Adrian Blaine brings down the tailback.
Yeah, Johnson's been doing just enough, but just enough is, in this case, not enough. And once again, they got Al Dillabry in the backfield. He's going to be the main back this play.
How do they go to him on a run or a pass? A pitch play for Dillapre, right-hand side, and unfortunately isn't built the same way as a traditional running back. He's brought down after a pickup of 4. He has done pretty well in the run game despite him being a true wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, if you're going to put in a wide receiver or running back, you got to make sure they're a speedy guy. And Dillapre does seem to have the speed needed to pull off that sort of trickery.
Blitz coming. Pass middle. Caught by Jack Wall past the 40-yard line. That's more like it from Canton.
Yes, sir. You like seeing Jack Wall back out there again. Always with something to say. Always with the big plays.
That's Wall's 3rd reception. Little over 55 yards in the ball game. Halfway mark of the 4th quarter, they send the blitz. Dillapre Sr. unalive to it. Too many men got home, led by Adrian Blaine. Now they spread the field with 3 wide receivers. Instead, they go with another pitch play. Right side, Thunderman with the initial hit, unable to bring down Robert Johnson. Johnson will pick up 3. And now we're back to this same situation. It's 3rd and 7, and Canton are going to be forced to throw.
Yeah, they just haven't seemed to really been able to crack the nut that is this Florida front 7.
Pass near side, incomplete. Try to fit it in a tight window to Wall. Nothing doing. Davidson there. Now it's close to the 4-minute mark, partner. 4th and 7 from your own 45. You might have to go for it.
I don't know. I think you punt it just one more time. But after this, yeah, it's go for it time no matter what.
And they will punt. Down by 2 scores. It's a fake! It's a fake! Charles Brown, he fumbled the football! He fumbled it, and Canton will jump on it. Oh, an unfortunate series of events for the Classics. They try to get cute with it, and the Florida defense takes over. Couldn't heave it hard enough, and Florida will take over.
Canton saw what the Detroit Lions did just a few days ago, running that little trickery on their own end of the field. Unfortunately, when you don't have the ability to consume kneecaps, you can't be running these sort of fake punts like that.
We'll take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at goretroid.com as the coaching staff from Canton want to take an extra look on it. They want to see if they can save maybe about 15 yards. And so they will not be charged a timeout. It was ruled his arm was moving forward. However, Canton will still turn over the football. And, just maybe to save face for that Canton coaching staff.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Oh, that makes sense. Because I thought it would just be a difference of 5 yards, but no, it's a pretty big difference, actually. Florida now having to go a fair bit more if they want to extend their lead.
Still Florida's ball, but they do push them further away from field goal range. So there is a little bit of composure in that challenge call as Boletsky gets the call. Only a yard. King Jamal is there, but we will see a massive chunk of this clock come off the board if Florida can keep hold of the football. Ron Haynes, the tight end, playing a wide receiver. The man in motion from right to left, 2nd and 9. Here for Florida. They'll try and stretch run it with Doyle out of the backfield, and Doyle will pick up 7 inside the 40-yard line, and now Canton's defense needs the biggest 3rd down stop of the ball game.
Yeah, because the way they're playing, they ain't going to be able to stop Florida from getting at least 3 if they concede this 1st down.
Florida looking to go 6-0. They need a 1st down. Handoff. Doyle through the middle. Bulldozes through 1. Trying to push the pile. Canton's fighting with him. Hammer and tongue. But Doyle will get the 1st.
Yeah, they're going to say he got it, although I would not be surprised if Canton throws the challenge flag again, because
now
that looks mighty close.
For now, the red hanky stays in the pocket of the coaching staff for Canton. There will be no challenge. Florida keep the football from just inside the 35. Bully ball is the word of the day from Eddie Gage in the stats truck. And that's exactly what that was. And, here we go. A rare delay of game penalty called on Florida. They took too long to get set after the motion.
They just kind of forgot to snap the football. I know they were trying to waste time, but dang. That was unfortunate.
Possibly the first delay of game penalty called this season here, Jack. What do you think? We'll see if Jack has a comment on that later. For now, I formation, 1st and 15 after the penalty. Handoff Doyle. Doyle maybe gets a yard, maybe the 38-yard line. Stopped up by Mark Gronick, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning here from the eye. It is 19-10. Florida just trying to put this game on ice. Can Canton come away with a stop, something? Can they make a game of it? This is the SFL on YouTube. Here's the run from Doyle again, getting a lot more of the carries here in the latter stages of the ball game. Canton will take their first of 3 timeouts. And it brings up 3rd down for Florida. 2 yards. Sees them get into field goal range potentially. Do Florida even try and throw the football? No. Run up the middle. Here is Boletsky near the 31-yard line. It'll be 4th down. Second timeout called for Canton. And so Canton's defense does their job, saving a touchdown, saving a first down, which would have ended the football game. And now here comes Ethan Sneed. They attempt a long field goal from the right hash. Low snap. Kick is up, and it hooks in. And good. 22-10. It is a 12-point ball game. Canton will now have to get on offense to try and get back in this game. They're going to need a lot of help. They're going to need some quick strike ability that they haven't had most of this game, Jack.
Yeah, or they haven't had most of this season. Maybe they can go back into their magic bag of tricks they had on Monday against Charleston. But alas, they need something big and they need it quick. 2 touchdowns in a minute 46. It's doable, but you're going to have a very tight window.
And Scar Patterson has been known, especially last season with San Diego, he has been known to air the football out and be a very prolific passer. He's going to have to rekindle that old magic here and now. 5 wide receivers. This is the most aggressive Canton's been all night long. Pass, middle, one-handed snag! Adrian Blade, how do you do? That is a nice catch! That's the nice hands catch of the game. We'll get to more of that in a second. Wow, what an interception!
And the comeback is over before it even started! What a play from Adrian Blade! Not a single proper turnover all game. But he comes in, he jump scares Scar Patterson, and that should be all she wrote. The fat lady's warming up behind the stage.
That's the nice hands catch of the ball game, brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it. SFL 4K23. Doyle out of a few tackles. He's looking for the corner. He puts another man into the turf, and Doyle gets Florida into a 1st and goal as Canton will use their 3rd and final timeout.
And that should be curtains on this one. Canton put up one heck of an effort, probably the best effort that Florida's seen against them since Charleston a few weeks ago. But alas, Florida is going to take the dub here, and Canton's going to fall behind in a North Division that has turned out to be way more competitive than anyone was expecting.
And we'll be talking about the interception that Adrian Blade made. She might be talking about nice hands catch of the season with that last interception that seals the ball game here in Florida. The underdog story is for naught for the Canton Classics. They will fall to 3-3 on the season. They will play next week against the Queen City Corsairs in a doubleheader of sorts. They'll play Queen City at home in week 8, and then we'll go to Buffalo to play the Corsairs in Queen City in week 9. And that North Division, like you're saying, partner, it's quite weird. Quite weird, in fact. Queen City, unfortunately, unable to really get going after a stellar draft. Canton's dealing with a certain team from Detroit at the moment, and it's just going to be a tough stretch for that North Division in general. The Florida Storm, meanwhile, they will continue their perfect season to a perfect 6-0. This, their 4th home game of the season. Now the real work has begun. 4 away games in the next 5 weeks. It starts in Jacksonville next week, followed by Atlanta in week 9 before coming back here at home to play Carolina. But that'll do it. 22-10. That is all Florida will need to take down the Classics here in week 7 of the SFL from the Eye in Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, sir, Tyler, and it was not Florida's best game. Many would say it was a fairly sloppy performance on the whole, but They did what they needed to do. They saw where Canton was. They just squeaked out enough to take away the win. Even if it's off just one touchdown, that's all they needed. And they're going to walk away this one 6-0. The Storm is cranking up to a Category 5 in the midseason.
And this Saturday, six-pack of SFL action continues tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern in Raleigh, where the 3-2 Carolina Skyhawks host the 2-3 Jacksonville Kings. In addition to Fort Worth, Mexico City, Los Angeles, Houston, and Minnesota at Denver. For the complete game schedule, visit our league website at simulationfl.net. Charlie Beletsky and J.W. Doyle get the job done on the ground, but it was Adrian Blaine and big sexy Alex Dominguez who got it done for that Florida defense. Your final thoughts on the game here, Jack?
Yeah, as I said, fairly solid game from Florida. Canton did all they could. You know, they're a good football team. They'll continue making that North Division competitive. They'll give Motor City everything they got. But for Florida, 6-0 until the real test begins.
For everyone here, I've been Tyler Falk. He's been Jack Well. We'll see you later today for more SFL action. Until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen.